Drag racing may have been born in Southern California, but Chicago made it an art form. From Union Grove or US 30 drag strip to the modern Route 66 raceway, the mid-season stop in the Windy City is huge. The crews had only 2 daytime sessions to figure out this record-making strip for the hottest race of the year. And Tony Schumacher is one of the big local names. Gary Gerald.
Paul, today we hit the midpoint of the season, and one of the big surprises this year is the fact that the Sarge, the 7-time champion, the man who's won more Top Fuel events than anybody in NHRA history, has yet to break through this season. He's determined to do it today. It's his home track. He has won here on 3 previous occasions. His first challenge will be against Shawn Langdon, who's alongside our colleague Dave Reef.
And Gary, there are those in the Lucas Oil camp that are surprised that this man in 56 races has yet to win in Top Fuel, a 2.5-year career. But despite that, the former Lucas Oil champ says they've got what it takes today, power and performance, despite a bad draw against the U.S. Army. He firmly believes he can discharge the Sarge in round number 1. Let's check in with John Kernan.
A big-time first-round matchup in Funny Car as Robert Hight takes on Jack Beckman. Now, these 2 drivers have accounted for 6 of the 10 wins so far this season. For Robert, though, it's been feast or famine, while Jack has been more consistent. That means Jack is just ahead of Robert in the points.
For the national anthem today, famous for his rendering in front of the Blackhawks games, Jim Corneliuson, one of the great tenors of all time.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Go race the boys! Boogity, boogity, boogity!
Thank you very much to Jim Corneliuson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, again, I direct your attention center stage as we get set for round number 1 of Top Fuel Eliminator. It is my great pleasure to present to you the number 1 driver in the history of the NHRA, the one, the only, Big Daddy, Don Garlitts.
Drivers, crew chiefs, are you ready? Joliet, are you ready? Gentlemen, put some fire in the pipes.
And we'll start today with Hot Rod Fuller and Dave Grubnic. This pair, of course, will set the benchmark, but let's show you everybody else that is going to race here today. The Lucas Oil Ladder, and take a look right there at Tony Schumacher and Shawn Langdon. Both are 0-2 in finals this season.
Other side of the ladder, I'm looking at that matchup between Brandon and Bernstein and Morgan Lucas. Both these drivers have won here in Alcohol Dragster.
Big Daddy watches on. Time to check in for our Castrol GTX high mileage. One to watch, Mike.
With the first pair out, I'm picking Hot Rod Fuller. It's the second race of the season. The reason, though, is he made 4 clean passes in qualifying in hot conditions. His last race win was May 2008 in St. Louis. Remember his 2007 season when he finished second in that heartbreaker, losing out to Tony Schumacher, the final race of the season.
Yeah, and remember, too, he's been spending a lot of time in Abu Dhabi, and he's been teaching drag racing over there. I mean, it's like the Chicago. What is that? That you can't have
got
that.
A flat front tire.
What are they going to do?
Well, I think Rick Stewart wanted to shut him off. Oh, this would be
get it out of there.
I tell Rick Stewart, get out of my way. I'm driving this thing. I mean,
well, you talk
I still got 3. It ain't a rear tire. Nah, that's a tough break. You can't send them down there. Wow, what he had such a consistent race car. Definitely had a really good shot at doing well here today. Dave Grubnic can be able to take advantage on on the single, but that is a tough break for us.
And so with that as a problem, Hot Rod Fuller is pushed away from the line, and Dave Grubnic, in fact, pulls the first upset of the day. Hi, welcome. I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn, and I was talking with Robert Height the other day, and we talked about the heat. Robert told me he thinks the heat favors the bigger teams because they have more data, more opportunity to react to it. You buy that?
I don't disagree with that, but the other factor is for some of the lesser funded teams, they'll always tell you they can't run the engines as hard in the good conditions, thus they can't make the horsepower. Well, in conditions like today, you don't need the horsepower. It's all about clutch management and that power management, so they'll tell you that it actually helps equalize the competition, and when you have that, a lot of times you have a chance for upsets.
And we've already seen one for an entirely different reason. How does something like that happen? You run over something in the staging lanes, or, man, that's weird.
That's a tough break, too.
All right, let's talk about what's at stake here today. Chicagoland, the halfway point of the season as Hot Rod Fuller pulls his gear off. Get off the bubble. That means don't be 11th.
Yeah, we're getting down to the wire for the countdown to the championship. You obviously want to make it in that top 10, so those drivers like 8 through 12 are really going to want to get solidly in there. And then how about the Ford Funny Cars? They're going for their 200th win, and will John Force Racing win streak continue?
And then do you believe this? Greg Anderson seeking a Chicago success. He's never won here.